Here's why you need to travel to the Philippines in 2022. This video was made in collaboration with the Tourism Promotions Board Philippines. So I've broken down this video into 5 P's when visiting the Philippines in 2022. Let's start with our first P, the people. The Philippines is made up of a diverse group of people all across this island archipelago nation. They are accommodating, friendly, and absolutely beautiful. If there's one thing that everybody knows about the Philippines is that Filipino hospitality is unlike any other hospitality in the world. Filipinos will open their doors for you and take you in whenever you need if you are visiting their country. Being able to access the hearts of these amazing people while you're on your journey here in the Philippines will make you feel safe and welcome in this incredible island nation. And no matter where you find yourself, whether you're in the biggest cities like Manila, Cebu, or Davao, or if you're deep in the provinces in places like El Nido and Siargao, there's one thing that stays consistent between all Filipino people, and that is that they are super accommodating and friendly. So one of the biggest reasons to come to the Philippines is to interact and make friends with the amazing people that live here. I implore you, when you arrive this 2022 in the Philippines, to interact with and try to learn from the amazing cultural backgrounds that exist across this entire country, whether you're in Luzon, the Visayas, or Mindanao. There's a diverse history of culture between all of these different people groups, and whether it's ritualistic dances, ancient tattoo artists, you will find incredible Filipino people that you will connect with and eventually become great friends with. And that's one of the magical parts of visiting this country. Let's talk about reason number 2 why you need to visit the Philippines in 2022. The places. Everybody knows that the Philippines spans incredible landscapes that will make you feel like you're in a movie every single day. Places like El Nido, Palawan, bringing within you incredible inspiration while you look at these monstrous mountains towering above you and beautiful blue crystal clear lagoons. Or if you're exploring the active and amazing Tagaytay and appreciating in awe a volcano inside of a lake that's inside of a volcano that's inside of a lake that's inside of a volcano that's inside of a lake that's inside of a volcano. Seriously, this exists in the Philippines and it's unbelievable. Or how about the incredible fish markets of General Santos City, where for decades fishermen have been pulling out massive tunas and putting them on auction. Or how about diving with beautiful majestic sea turtles off the coast of Malboal, Cebu, letting you take a breather underwater and appreciating the amazing nature that the Philippines has to offer, while swimming alongside your gentle sea turtle friends. Explore the ancient roots of Islamic society in the Philippines by visiting their incredible Pink Mosque and Grand Mosque deep in the island of Mindanao. Drive on top of the winding and incredible San Juanico Bridge between the islands of Samar and Leyte, taking you on a truly unbeaten path in the Philippines. Or visit my favorite island, Siargao, and come to appreciate the Isla de Palmas by basking in the sea of palm trees and enjoying incredible surf and incredible food. I could talk about places you can visit in the Philippines all day, every day, because I love this country and I love the islands that make it up. Now, we've actually made a top 5 places you should visit in the Philippines video, so I highly recommend that you go watch that now. But let's jump off to the food. I mean food. The Philippines has some seriously unrated food in the Asian sphere. A variety of distinct and again diverse flavors stretching from every single island of this incredible nation. So we've actually made a top 10 video of the best foods that you should try in the Philippines on your first visit here. So definitely go check that out now. But the Philippines palate is made up of sweet, salty, and savory flavors, with a huge focus on proteins like seafood, chicken, and beef. Philippines cuisine is made up from a diverse group of flavors, spanning from Spanish history, American history, Chinese influence, and many, many more nations that have stepped foot on this country and left their mark through the cuisine. Some of my favorites include a dish called ginataang langka, which is jackfruit stewed in coconut milk, a super healthy and hearty dish that will gear you up for an amazing day of adventure no matter where you are in this island nation. The classic chicken adobo, beautiful soft bristled chicken marinated in this awesome adobo sauce. You can find this in any Filipino household in any Filipino restaurant. Or one of my favorites, kare-kare, a savory but sweet peanut butter oxtail dish that will blow your mind. One of the most underrated dishes in Asia, in my opinion. If you're a foodie and you're coming to the Philippines, there are no shortage of foods that will inspire your palate. So the food is definitely something you don't want to miss when you're in the Philippines. Let's talk about our next topic, the prices. With a robust economy ready to host tourists at some of the most competitive prices in Asia, the Philippines is a super affordable travel destination for many people coming from the Western world. Now again, because the Philippines is such a diverse location to travel to, also the amount of money that you spend will vary depending on the type of person you are, the type of traveler you are, and how many of people you are traveling in your party. But let's do an average daily cost just so you have a little better of an idea of how much money you'll be spending. You're looking at at an average, and this is just a generalization for the most basic type of traveler, of around 20,000 pesos per week. This will run you around $450 to $500 on a budget per week. Now again, this price can vary greatly, and the longer you stay in one place, the cheaper the prices get. And the reason is you'll build connections, you'll get a better rate on your accommodation, and you'll also know where and where not to eat and where not to tour. Now, a cost average for a cheap backpacker style traveling, you look to spend about 8,000 per week, but to be honest with you, depending on the province that you're in, I've been able to spend as little as 5,000 pesos per week, which is just around $100. Now again, I'm not going to promise you anything, and if you're a budget backpacker, it's not going to be super easy for you to spend only $100 a week, but depending on how local you get and how much you're willing to scrub off of your itinerary and be open to more local experiences and more people-to-people opportunities, you can definitely get by on a super low budget in the Philippines, and that's what makes this place such an inviting travel destination. And of course, for our luxury average cost, for 1 week, you're looking at around 53,000 pesos, or just over $1,000. Now again, this can vary wildly because there are some crazy exclusive and luxury resorts across the Philippines, and you can definitely hit over this mark. But at that point, if you're spending $1,000 a week traveling, you probably don't care too much. So enjoy yourself. Splurge. Get a few halo-halos to share. You're gonna have a great time. Like I said, the Philippines is ready and open to host tourists from a wide variety of countries around the world. And with a post-pandemic economy, local businesses in the tourism sphere cannot wait to host you, whether they are a hotel, restaurant, tour organizer, or a national park. As we mentioned in our people segment of the video, local Filipino people are ready to host you and make sure you get your bang for your buck. Because of their amazing hospitable culture, you'll make sure that every dollar or peso that you spend in this country will go a very long way for you. And the bottom line is the things that you can accomplish as a tourist here, especially when it comes to going off the beaten path, away from tourist destinations in Asia like Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. You'll be able to find truly untouched paradises in the Philippines, and ones that will not put a burning hole in your wallet, and that is a promise. And for our last P, let's talk about the protocols. Through this video, I've wanted to highlight to you guys how enticing it is to visit the Philippines in 2022, but now I want to talk to you guys about how easy it is. The Philippines knows it's more fun with you, so they want to welcome you back with some of the easiest protocols in any country in Southeast Asia when it comes to coronavirus protocol. All of the Philippines Department of Tourism information on the entry requirements can be found at visitor.tourism.gov.ph. This is going to be a dedicated page for you, potential tourists to the country, to be able to look and understand the regulations before visiting. This is updated regularly. So fully vaccinated foreign nationals, including their children, can now visit the Philippines. And anyone who's received at least one booster shot is exempted to present a pre-departure test. The Philippines is taking the return to tourism seriously, receiving the World Travel and Tourism Council's Safe Travel stamp for its adoption of health and hygiene global standardized protocols. And they've thoroughly assessed and inspected the establishments across the country to assure only those who are accredited are operating. Nearly every single tourism worker in the country has been fully vaccinated, covering almost all hotel employees, tour operators, and other establishments. And they highly recommend that you book only with DOT accredited accommodations and establishments. Entire lists per island and province can be found at philippines.travel/accreditation. This can also be found on this awesome tourism.gov page. In their fight against the spread of COVID-19, it is still mandatory to wear face masks in public spaces and observe physical distancing at all times. And you're also required to bring your vaccination card with you, but that's pretty much it. You do not need any quarantine anymore in the Philippines if you are fully vaccinated. I spent the entire COVID-19 pandemic in the Philippines, and I can tell you I saw with my own eyes the dedication that the Department of Tourism has gone through to set up and facilitate an easy to follow and understandable route of tourism across the Philippines. By following these easy to understand entry requirements to the Philippines, you're going to have an awesome experience traveling across this country in 2022. And those are the top reasons you need to visit the Philippines in 2022. And thank you so much to the Tourism Promotion Board's Philippines for making this video possible. We'll see you in the Philippines, and I love you long time. Goodbye.